So, Jonathan Majors was, unfortunately, arrested for beating a woman, strangulation, assault, harassment, pretty awful things. I've just done that report. But in scouring the internet, it looks like even more allegations have come forward now. So the floodgates have opened. Take all of this with a massive pinch of salt. I always find this interesting, why would people not come forward? He's only just become, relatively big. You'd think, ultimately, some of these things would have been out there a little bit longer. This isn't a chap that has been slowly building up the ranks, slowly getting big. Over a period of time, like one big movie, a weak one big movie, a week. He's, been pushed recently and has now reached stardom. So you would think that a lot of this stuff would have already come out, but apparently not. For whatever reason, these individuals do say why, but there's more allegations coming out. That apparently he's a sociopath, he's vicious, cruel, awful human being. So let's take a look, right? So last month, a filmmaker, A.B. Allen, who did a rough draft, took to Twitter to mention an unnamed actor who is a vicious, cruel, abusive human being, both professionally and in his personal life. Now, Allen has then confirmed that he was talking about Jonathan Majors, but declined to share more, as it would expose people who have been hurt. I do hate that as an excuse. Or a reason. Whichever way you look at it, it's weak sauce. I hate it. It always annoys me, stuff like that. Just, it's a bit different. Like, you're fundamentally talking about someone. You don't have to reveal who he's hurt, but you could still reveal, and again at the time when you spoke about this like a month ago, you could have named him. But whatever. Anyway, Society Theatre co-founder and Broadway actor-director Tim Nicolai elaborated on that by stating, folks at Yale and the broader New York City community have known about him for years. He's a sociopath, an abuser, and that is how virtually everyone speaks about him. Fucking wow. Again, these are bold, profound allegations, right? You'd think. I'm not saying I don't believe them, as an FYI, but we've got to look at these things subjectively. You'd think that some of this stuff would have come to light by now. We quizzed on why he and others haven't spoken out sooner. Nikolai put it down to the fact that a victim needed to come forward, adding, a bunch of us are close with people, and sometimes multiple people he has directly harmed. Literally, people Jonathan Majors did this to are texting me right now. It's not a case of I heard. Interesting. Like, actually interesting. Now, if you head on over to A.B. Allen's Twitter, where he's obviously been, tweeting about this for a little while. He is a they, them, okay? Got to throw that out there as well, because sometimes I don't know what Jonathan Majors' ideological or political stance is, but sometimes those things, when they are opposed to one another, yeah, like, people will just say stuff. Anyway, whatever. So there was this one. This is a retweet. I'm not surprised about Jonathan Majors, because men being violent don't surprise me, but I truly did not expect all of this. Like, he really had the public so fooled and played up the soft, masculine, emotional man that was on purpose. One, ridiculous opening statement. Ridiculous opening statement. You're not surprised about Jonathan Majors because men being violent don't surprise me. Sure, whatever. Sure, I mean, that's ideologically motivated anyway. Imagine how frightening it has to be getting abused by someone that millions of people are thirsting over, adore, giving accolades to, and the speed of which it has happened to him. How do you even find community? How do you even find community being a victim of someone like that? Who knows? I mean, yeah. But this isn't actually the statements that have been shared specifically. So this individual then started sharing other things, right? So Gene Aversa said, the separate accounts about Majors I have heard from different people who have worked on sets with him were unsettling and alarming. This is why I think, why has it not come out yet? Anyway, heard nothing but abusive behaviour toward PAs and other people, and other below-the-line crew members. Good riddance. interesting. But again, don't you think, would it have not come out by now? Maybe, who knows? It's interesting. It's all, yeah, it is all surprising stuff. And this is where he's like, oh yeah, confirmed. Ding, ding, ding. There's a particular actor. Ding, ding, ding. Yes, confirmed. So you have that, I guess. Which is, yeah, surprising, maybe, yeah. And then Tim Nikolai, where he's hidden his tweets. So I don't know what I think about that. Overall, hiding his tweets, not a good look. But again, if you head on, I mean, he's been trending for ages, and then so was Ezra Miller off the back end of it, because people are like, well, you know, Ezra Miller managed to get around all of this stuff, and you know, he literally appeared in court and has got video evidence of himself doing these things. So this chap is definitely safe, is what people are thinking. And you know what? They're probably right. If all of this is true, yeah, they are probably right. But it's in. I think what I find so surprising about this is it's the star power that has made someone actually talk about it. All right, because Ezra Miller did all of this and more, appeared in court in Hawaii. At one point, Ezra Miller, you had a greater chance of being assaulted by Ezra Miller in Hawaii than you did of being attacked by a shark. Right? So, but no one was talking about it as much as this. This is only because people like Jonathan Majors. Which is a shame, really, in the regard that anyone should be called out. Absolutely not shocked about Jonathan Majors. He's a Virgo. The men are not good. Fucking God, whatever. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. I mean, obviously, there's lots of memes coming out around it as well. That's like Kevin Feige. What Kevin Feige is going to be doing now. Ooh, not good. But the main thing is, I just think, like, what? Why has this not come out yet? Why would this not have come out yet? People, apparently, this is so renowned. Everyone knows that this is what he's like. You know, folks at Yale and broader New York City community have known about him for years. He's a sociopath, an abuser, and how virtually everyone speaks about him. So surely we know that. Surely this is something which people are aware of. No, you think that? It frustrates me. You'd think people would be. You think that this would have come out by now. You should have named him, but I understand. And this is the replies, you know. If it had happened to me, or I'd seen it directly, I would have. See, he hasn't seen it. But the people who he has abused, mistreated, chose to stay silent, perhaps for their own safety. It's not my role to out what he did, and thereby out them without their consent. The specifics of what I know, unfortunately, would still expose people who have been hurt and deserve to not become part of some larger media inquiry if they don't want to. So I'm not going to get into the details, but now y'all know what his deal is. I mean, if that is the case, I get it. Maybe. But yeah, I don't know. It's a shame, you know? Like, it's a shame. You don't have to be... Yeah, it's a shame. Not, is it surprising? Narcissism, violence in Hollywood, not massively surprising, which is a shame. But more allegations. It's not a good look. Kevin Feige literally hinged the entire future of the MCU on this individual. And apparently, if this is true, didn't do his due diligence.